this is Tony, and you're watching Financial IT. Joining me today is Grace Lau from Artwise. Grace, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm very, very interested about this project that you have. Do you mind just telling us a little bit more about what exactly Artwise is, what inspired you to get it up and running?
Yeah, sure. So Artwise is, to put it simple, Artwise is a blockchain platform, a protocol that provides financial solution for art as collateral. And by art, I mean physical blue chip arts like Picasso, Monet, like the auction pieces instead of NFT or digital art.
And then what set off your idea to do something like this? What inspired you?
So I work in the art industry for more than 10 years, and I've been working in all aspect in the art industry, like galleries, auction houses, art fairs, private dealers. And since 2018, I've been working as a private dealer for high net worth individuals, mainly here in Hong Kong. And for that matter, when I started, because I used to live in New York, and when I came back to Hong Kong and started working in this field, and it was quite uncommon. And so I got a lot of traction from the high net worth in Hong Kong. And I would mainly manage their art collections and buy and sell for them. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of problem in the private market in the art industry. And a lot of people might not know that over 50% of the sales is being made in the private market. But then, people from outside of the art world would think, oh, okay, you guys do transactions through galleries or auction houses, but that's not true. Like, if you're a mature collector or a mature art industry, involver, like, if you want to acquire something or you want to sell something, the first option is always private sale. So, but then private sale is like the most under-regulated field in the whole industry. Yeah. And there's no regulation, there's no standard. There's basically zero transparency. So it's purely a people-to-people business. And so there's a lot of mistakes and a lot of fraud and a lot of fake artwork. And over 50% of the artwork that's been circulating in the private market are not authentic. So there's like basically fraudulence happening every single day. And some people might not even know that they bought a fake artwork. Yeah. And like they won't even notice after like many years when they try to resell again. So I started to realize there's a lot of problems, in the field that I've been working in. And I love fixing problems. Like, it's just my thing. Like, I love fixing everything around me. So I was thinking, like, why this is happening? Like, why no one is trying to make things better? So in 2022, I started my company. And so it was not really mean for monetizing or making huge profit or anything. It's a community. It's a network to connect people like me, people working in the same field in the private market, to share information and to facilitate the transaction and increase transparency. And because our sector is like really underregulated, so the more professional that's joining into the game, that will come to like some sort of consensus and decide some sort of market standard. That's my initial vision. And fast forward, we had private dealers from all over the world, mainly from the U.S., Europe, like Paris, Switzerland, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Indonesia, and some smaller countries in Europe as well, and Dubai. So it became a few hundred people network. But then I was being the manager of the network and facilitating everything, but we're not monetizing. Yeah. And so as a startup, we have to make money, right? So I've been thinking, how should I pivot this, leveraging what we have right now? And starting from last year, which is 2024, a friend of mine, because I've been always I always have friends in finance and blockchain. And I'm always interested in how blockchain can step into the art world. And I wasn't really into NFT though, because there's no like true value to NFT. At least that's what I thought back then. But then I really think there's something to blockchain that can do to the art industry. So when my friend, he started tokenizing property in the States, and I was like, this is really inspiring. I mean, like LWA right now is quite common. A lot of people are talking about it, but I guess like in 2023, the early 2024, it's still not that big of a thing. So I was really inspired, and then it was like a click moment that I think this is it. Like I'm going to find out how can we do something from this angle, and then it's like almost a year of research and find out the solution, the feasibility, the legal possibility, and everything. And finally, we put together a solid solution, not just a concept. It's like a solution that's able to deploy and execute right away with all the parties ready and with all the assets like art pieces and lenders and investors ready. So it's a year of hard work, and finally we're here. So we're ready to launch by the end of this year. And yeah.
That's very exciting.
Thank you.
Well, then what are the kind of intricacies behind getting the art pieces tokenized? How do you go about getting people to agree to be part of this?
Well, that's a really good question, because I think we can't ignore the fact that the art industry is still a very traditional and conservative and close-gated field.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, it's basically from my personal network and from my team's personal network, because including me, there are 3 people originally used to work in auction houses in my team. So we start from there, and then I also got a lot of tractions from LinkedIn, from online platforms. People have seen, people have been following on what I've been doing, and they're intrigued. And I'm receiving inquiries almost every single day, and offering private collections from Europe, private collections from Asia, to interested to be tokenized. So so it's actually more positive than I thought it would be, because from the very beginning I thought, it's going to be a big learning curve for people to accept something that's quite new, right?
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of people in the industry are observing, and they're ready to, take on something new. And so it's quite a positive sign. Of course, when it comes to execution and the details, we'll have to walk them through, what's going to happen, this is how we're going to do it. But the traction and the interest is definitely positive.
Yeah, because a lot of people are quite risk averse naturally, especially when it comes to their money.
Yeah.
So then how do you ensure that their assets are safe and that they get kind of a return on that investment?
Do you mean the art pieces?
Yeah.
The art piece. So basically the blockchain part is the blockchain part, but the off-chain part, we practice pretty much exactly the same as the traditional art market. We assess the artwork, we authenticate it, we appraise it, we make condition report, and then we make sure it's in a safe vault and or warehouse in some sort of free port in around the world, and everything is like industry standard. So we make sure it's safe. Yeah.
I'm sure that will assure a lot of people.
A lot of people have asked me about how do you make sure you don't lost the artwork, or like how do you make sure it's not being stolen or damaged and everything. But like it's actually the same as the traditional standard. Like we just keep it somewhere, and then we insured it, and if anything happened, it's going to be compensated by the insurance.
By the insurance.
Yeah.
No. That will make a lot of people very happy to hear that they are still covered by insurance as well.
Indeed.
And I wanted to kind of jump back to a little bit on that idea of ownership through the tokenization, and the fact that you can get a little piece of something really famous.
Right.
Do you see a lot of people interested in that aspect of things, of the ability to own a part of a Monet or own a part of a Picasso art piece?
That's a great question. So I mentioned that we've done almost like a year of research on and competitive analysis. Basically, we are not the first company, or we're not the first to do this, to like fractionalize a famous artwork.
Yeah.
A lot of people have done it before. Technology-wise or concept-wise, it's nothing new. And our study basically focused on why this is not becoming something phenomenon, or why it's still sort of a gimmick thing. And so apparently after talking to over hundreds of collectors and, really digging into what they think about it, I mean, it might sound bad to my business, but I don't think it's an essential product for people. It's something nice to have, but it's not a real solution to a problem. So that's also the reason why we are launching with art as collateral, as a financial product to borrow, to loan against it, instead of issuing fractionalized artwork as an investment, because that's basically a very different concept. Because we are working, instead of working for investors, like providing something interesting for them to invest in. We are helping the collectors that's sitting on a bunch of artwork or art collections, possibly billions of dollars in like a free port in Luxembourg or Switzerland, that they don't even see them for like 5 years. But that's a lot of money and a lot of value that's not being exposed, like basically sitting there collecting dust. So we are thinking on behalf of the collectors, and there's a real demand since the economy has not been really positive from a few years ago. And the collectors reaching out to us, and they are looking to sell like a whole collection of Picasso, a whole family collection from some old money names in Europe. And that's quite, I mean, I'm not super old. I've been only working in the industry for 10 plus years, but for me, that's quite a rare thing. Like, I've never seen the market looking like this. And that's when we started looking for financing and loan solution for the collectors. And that's also when we realized the traditional finance is being quite difficult and quite inadequate when it comes to lending to artwork as collateral. And so we really want to set the standard to make it easier, but not losing the standard, like not like, we're just taking anything, we're just giving loan to anyone. We know there's a room to make it easier. And to quantify it, I think there's a 20 to 30% of room to make it easier, much easier than the current market. I've been talking to my friends from the iBank. I don't want to mention which iBank, but they've just launched the art financing service this year in Hong Kong, and which is really new. Like, people would have imagined that, a big iBank like them would have this sort of service like long ago as, part of their service. But the fact is only a few iBanks providing this type of service, and they are providing the service more on a marketing level. It's something that, look at us, we have this, we have everything, but they're not really aiming to really helping you when it comes to that part of the game. But as a boutique startup, for now, this is our specialty. We expertise in this, and so I think we can do a better job than the big banks, only in terms of like this part.
Yeah. Well, then would you consider in the future working with these bigger banks to help them improve what they have?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I can review some of the names, but we have been talking to a few of the big banks, and because I'm sure you know that a few banks have been working on blockchain solution as well, like digital assets. We have been talking to banks from Europe mainly, and one bank from Hong Kong, from Asia, to eventually onboard our solution, like as a third-party integration to help them on art as collateral, as lending.
That is very interesting.
Thank you.
I wish you good luck.
It's very exciting indeed. Yeah.
And I think I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
First being, what kind of trends do you see happening within the next couple of years with RWA, perhaps even art related or just NFT related?
I mean, from a selfish point of view, of course, I hope that it's going to be more standardized from time to time, like,
Yeah.
and then eventually it can be a standardized asset, maybe like gold or like, things
Yeah.
like that. Of course, it can be never as standardized as gold, but we want to make it as close as to that level. And for the whole RWA, I do see that it's becoming really regulated, and especially here in Hong Kong, the government and everything is trying really hard to promote it. So yeah, I would say next year, 2026, will be a booming year, and properties, infrastructures have been tokenized, and assets that's not easily liquid, in the TradFi have been tokenized and sold out upon issuance. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a trend, a trending thing, or that's only going to happen for 2 years, or it's the starting point. I mean, I'm nobody to say that, but of course, I hope this is a taking off of the whole scene.
I hope so too. And I look forward to seeing yourself and Artwise moving forward, and to seeing the standardization of the quality and the quantifying of the artworks as well.
Yes, definitely. That's everything we me and my team, we from art background, we're from finance background, we're from iBanks, and that's everything we're trying to do to make it happen.
Thank you so much, Grace. I appreciate you changing your flights to come and join us here.
Thank you so much.